That's a plus, yeah, I saw that. I'm wondering the dog didn't just run away and yeah.
All right, man. Good?
So we gotta know, did she step on everything?
No, I think I just lost internet. Like it just went down.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it just like completely crashed out. There's no stepping
That's
a cable
wild.
or anything. No, it just went out. I mean, it immediately renegotiated and connected. So, um, okay. So the Duke looks towards you, and in terms of their kind of word to it, gifting you to operate in that manner, you need to have more of an official stand. I can give you 3 guard if you'd like, but they are not to attack or wage war against these creatures until we know what it is and why they are doing this. I'll write a letter for you if you wish, and you may take this, and I will select 3 individuals that I will choose to accompany you with this letter. And from there, they will stand by the ready for the letter to be handed over to negotiate peace or reasoning or audience. Something that will help you do much more than just bloodshed. If it happens to come to bloodshed, my guard, of course, will defend themselves. They will not push themselves into harm's way. I will give them strict orders. Now, would you give me a little bit more information of your timetable? What you happen to do with your party in this endeavor?
I think we were talking about going tomorrow, right, Pedro? Isn't that what everyone said? I don't remember. I don't pay attention. They talk a lot.
It does, if I remember correctly, it does suggest that you all wish to go tomorrow, yes? But who knows? You all walked out of my field house without even first asking for coin, or then heading in and dealing with those creatures.
Well, yeah. I mean, I like the excitement. Isn't that why? Like that's why I'm like, look at this, and he's just gonna like flex the way that Donlin would.
That's quite nice. Let me get another angle there of the. Yes, that's right. Good, nice. I like that.
So yes, I think tomorrow is the plan, and yeah, three guards sounds great. Can she come with? And he's just gonna point towards Elise for no reason but the fact that she's a pretty woman.
Elise looks back to you. Elise says nothing. The Duke looks towards you. No, no. Elise is here to stay. My head servant, head of house. They have no business, and of course, Elise has uh, no idea of how to fight at all.
Well, there won't be a fight. That's the goal. No fight.
Well, yes, that is the goal, but I, from what I have heard and what I have concluded on my own evidence, as well as the evidence you've provided, is that you all are very quick to action.
Yeah, that might have been my fault.
It's all right. Just eat the food, enjoy yourself, and in the morning, first stop by the manor. I'll have 3 guard ready to go, or perhaps I'll have them at the field house. Yes, I'll provide them the letter and have them meet you at the field house. That'll be better. Just making my way through the village back to the manor for no reason. Yes, enjoy, please. Certain point. At this point, Pip, you're going to arrive. Knock under the door, the guards welcome you in, simply noting you as company perhaps for Domlin and Palu to join the dinner, not thinking anything else. And then you step into the room. Upon that, Elise is going to move over towards you help you with your coat or whatever warm clothing you have. You wish it to help hang it into the actual wardrobe. Duke stands
Thank you.
up. Ah, another one joining us. Well, I was not expecting this. I imagined it was just going to be Pelu, and then it happened to be Pelu, and now Donlin, and now Pelu, Donlin, and Kang.
Oh, I won't be long. I'm sorry. I just found some information that I wanted to that needed more. How can I say information?
Of course, please pull up a seat. You can sit next to either one, and at least maybe some wine. Would you like some wine?
Yeah.
I think we have another plate as well, and some food too. We're on the second course now, but more than welcome. Take a seat.
Thank you. Thank you.
He
Sorry to
moves
intrude.
around, sets down different plates as well as the servants helping. Eventually, a silver goblet poured with wine, noting that they don't have gold to go around. Silver. The wine is poured. Elise then moves back to their place of standing. Do tell, what do you have to offer us?
Well, first there's an approach I would like to try for tomorrow that I need your assistance with. Do you happen? Is there any way we can get a nice set of, or a nice thing of food to bring with us to present as a gift?
You want to bring in food to them?
Yeah.
It's very odd, but I can make sure that the chef and cook stayed late. And perhaps they can make an additional dessert we'll be having this evening that they can accompany with you.
Sounds amazing.
Suffice. So the letter, the cake, dessert. I'll be having a cake, 3-tiered, and then 3 guard. Look at that, three. Interesting. That all works out quite well. It's a little unorthodox to bring a dessert, especially that to creatures. But what was the source of this information? You say?
It was just came to me. You know, I knew a little bit about him. Finally clicked once I got back.
Right. Just clicked to you. Do you sue for peace very often? Are you an emissary? Did you come from a noble house, messenger perhaps of a guild?
I don't know about noble, but if you look at me, you could tell I'm not much of a fighter, especially compared to this guy. I am definitely the more lover, not a fighter, as you could say.
Yes, I see. Please enjoy. Cheers. Raises the goblet up. Blink once, twice. Good luck and fortune on your adventures tomorrow.
But there was one little thing that I did notice too. While I was walking around, you know, stumbled by, talked to the very nice old man. You know, I forget his name. You know, terrible with names. Forget mine half the time. But I was noticing while I was visiting inside his shop, there was some dirt or some stone in there. What's that for? I mean, I thought you guys mined other resources. Like, I don't know what. I'm just curious. I mean, I'm, you know.
Curious about what the lapidary Kolva?
No, not him. While I was visiting him, seeing what his shop has to offer, you know, there was some.
Oh, let me cut you short. The business between the lapidary of Kolvas and the Haraka Mining Company are strictly their business. I am here to oversee as a figurehead to meet a specific quota that is sent to us by Lord Downfall, will decree passed down from King Reldor Telthar to produce a certain amount of iron ore to be made into weapons and arms, shipments that will be sent promptly to the smitheries and foundries within Beelder. If you have something along the lines of company business with Orvas, I personally would not know anything.
Hmm. So, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. Not trying to pry. It was just curiosity. And I just found it. This must be a really big endeavor to send someone like a duke to oversee this, though. Um,
Well, it is big. It is big. It is quite big, in fact. There is a great war that is happening to the far south. It's been going on for 8 years now. Weapons and arms need to be made, and the mines need to be at full capacity to meet that demand for the Telthars. The rock mine is just one of many. They are small in comparison, and it saw fit that a Duke figurehead be placed, as well as other reagents that are aligned with the Telthar's efforts at various locations throughout the continent that have mines relative to their location. Houses, horse lords, and ladies. I personally am a house lord of House Orillo, of course not aligned particularly into the government of the Telthars. Our house is still aligned to the Telthars if we are called to aid, but of course my path left away from exports and business of trade within the great city of Lathan, and it was set eyes to move in bureaucracy and to aid the Telthars and the royal crown. That is why I took the position here. I have no standing in politics in the past. This is my first appointed position as someone of political intrigue.
hmm, that is very eye-opening and very good to know. I'm just trying to find things that might why the doors would have automatically seemed to get a little bit more pushy, so to speak, saying no one in this town has heard of them till recently. Um, so there's nothing else, say, in the mines that you may slipped your mind that we may need to know, because the doors seem very interested in something in that mine that wasn't traditional, and I'm just wondering if you knew anything about that.
Right. Well, if they're after something, it must be the rich, vast resources of the mine. Iron, gems, perhaps. Mine is quite large in terms of maybe what these creatures are used to, and they see this as a wealth of resources.
Can I like do an insight, I guess, to see if I can see if he's um
What?
telling the truth
Telling
or
the truth.
seems to be
I-
holding back, I guess. I guess it'd be more holding if I could tell he's holding back more so than telling the truth.
Okay. So, from your side of 19, the Duke has, stating back from when they were talking as a governmental house and everything like that, they were very specific how they were wording things and putting them forward in their voice. And there was a slight couple stutters in terms of their position, the latest thing they have stated. To you and your inside of 19 would suggest A, that there is some amount withhold of information, or they are aware of more information.
Okay, well, if that's all you got, I appreciate it. There's nothing more that you know of or anything that might have slipped your brain that might help us. I mean, I know you have a lot going on in this town, and I'm not, don't want to overstress that. But I know you are a very busy man, so something may have slipped your mind that might help us in our endeavor in making peace and not war with the dwarfs in question.
Hmm. I don't believe anything has slipped my mind, unfortunately. I don't have anything to offer you to aid you as adventurers on your task and your quest.
Hmm. Okay. Well, very well then. Um,
So as the dinner itself goes through, eventually it'll conclude. Um, at this point, Pelu, after leaving Donlin, your belly is full, as well as you, Pip, if you're enjoying some of the lavish things. Noting in the morning, roughly an hour or so after daybreak, so that kind of puts it around 7, 8-ish o'clock. The 3 guard with the cake as well as the message will be present outside of the field house awaiting you all to accompany into the mine. Um, Pelu is going to kind of motion after Pip gets some distance in terms of where they're heading next to and just grabs your hand on for a brief moment. Shall we pick this up tonight or perhaps another time?
I think perhaps another time I do need to strategize with them so we don't kill more dwarves. Everyone seems upset when you kill dwarves. I don't know.
Well, sometimes it can be very difficult to do what needs to be done. I personally am not capable of killing. It's just not my nature.
Every good fighter needs a lover. Just, you know.
And I hope to be one day your lover.
Yeah. Hopefully, if I make it back.
Begins to walk away slowly and surely, swaying from side to side as they are quite drunk. Most of the wine heavy. All right.
Yep.
So where to for both of you at this stage?
I think the tavern. That's the only
Yeah.
place with rooms, right?
At this point, Pip would realize it's not a good time to talk to the Elise when he is very on the urge of pissing off the Duke, so he decided to go to the tavern as well.
So, heading in the direction of the tavern. In terms of Lance, at this point, we're going to kind of advance the time clock a little bit to where you would be finishing your stuff, most likely heading to the tavern as well. Jack's in a similar position after getting commissioned. You're probably actually going to be at the tavern earlier if that's where you're headed next, in terms of yourself, Jax. And then because Brad has messaged me over DMs, they said that that person had found the dog. So they messaged me over DMs actually a little while ago in terms of time, but they found a dog. So I don't know if Brad's going to be coming back, but we will, leave it. So we'll take it as we go. Just say they're kind of along for the ride at this point. Jax, is there anything you want to do before you're heading to the tavern?
I'm good.
And Lance, the same thing goes to you.
I think I'm fine.
Okay, cool. Before we advance to the tavern, just note I've added actually a couple of journal pins to here. A couple of things I've actually added to the journal tab to make it observable as well. Noting that there is a trader, a hunter, who's currently there selling pelts, as well as some things of dragon in terms of materials. There's a tannery that's kind of always here in terms of traders. And then there's the general store trader that has a variety of items. And then as well as the lapidary has their items. Now I'm going to go ahead and get over to the tavern map. All right, give me 1 second. Part here. So I'm going to give a description of the tavern here. This is a single-story tavern, slate-tiled roof, has some dwarvish stuff. I gave a little bit of description prior to in session 1. Now you're actually getting here. You can kind of see there's a very strong dwarvish very much towards like the lapidary, but it's only single structure. Elevation in terms of foundation, staircase coming in on the bottom left corner rounds down. Perhaps there's rooms underneath this place. Long wooden tables with benches fit with many different miners and patrons here of the village drinking ale, eating bread, as well as stew that has been put in clay bowls. The tankards are either rusted metal or they're made of clay themselves. There's a long bar of solid stone that has some stools there, ales, tapped, right? Kegs are tapped. At the back side of that place, as well as a wine rack that goes vertically to the left. Solid stone door leads to the kitchen. There's a massive mosaic hearth at the center point of the space, which is most of the smoke at the center point of the structure going through the chimney, as well as another fireplace at the back, kind of the top right. Now there's a side door here to the east, and this is just going to kind of a overhang stone slate that allows for wagons and such to be pulled through. Maybe traders on their way out want to pick up rations or food. Getting some cover from the snow is helpful for that. There's also another covered area that has the cellar door going underneath, as well as a place for wood chopping and such, and that's adjacent to the kitchen. Now, as you come in, Kanan's been here for some time. Kanan, you'll see that you have some token artwork and kind of forming around this, but you essentially have the bottom right side of the complete tavern to yourself. There is a human that is looking upon you with long brunette hair, has a kind of a wrapping over the head to keep warm of wool, large amounts of times hide as wool in terms of parts and stuff. They have proclaimed themselves as a follower of Palor, guided by the light from certain clerics that have come by many moons ago. Their current spouse works in the mine. They're still at their shift. They actually work overnight, so they've left. They're seeking aid and confession from you, particularly. Most of these individuals have kind of gone with in terms of confession stuff since you've proclaimed. This one has the most adulterative sins that they have fooled around with thy neighbor. Looks towards you. Please, Confessor Kanan, can you? I'm so sorry for what I've done. By Palor's light, I betrayed respect and trust in my own house.
Kanan will fish out a small red crystal vial, tiny little thing, crimson red. He just places a hand on her shoulder and looks down and says, "My child, are you truly repentant for the wickedness that your heart and your body hath wrought?"
I am. Palor's light, I am.
So he'll hold the vial up to her mouth, just underneath, and then speak your words of truth so that his ears may hear them and find yourself free and unburdened.
Close the eyes. I've been lonely. Late at night when it's cold and I've sought the warmth of another. For that I seek forgiveness and shelter and light and warmth of thy Palor, instead of the company of this other individual. Looks towards a little bit left and right after opening eyes. People are just kind of closing, up and down. Some of the other people in the tavern are a little bit overhearing, just kind of be like, "What the fuck is happening?" So there's also some confusion that's happening. And upon that, they continue to extend their grievances, not just in this company of Neighbor at Night for warmth and shelter, and probably just even talking, but also that they've committed some petty theft as well, stealing bread and other goods in the village square from traders that passed by. Upon that, they finish slightly sobbing. At this point, some of you have now come into the tavern. You're seeing your companion, your party member, providing these confessions. There's a tavern keeper that's making a way around. This is a dwarf, stocky, has a fair complexion, dark green eyes. They have this red braided hair going long below the shoulders, bushy red beard fit for surviving the harsh winter. They have brown cloth, wool tunics, black wool vest, or trousers, brown, tucked into matching boots, suspenders holding up pants. They have a few purses, most likely for currency exchange of coin for their goods and things. Upon making way to the bar counter, Lance, the dwarf, is quick to make way to the bar counter to provide aid. But before that happens, Kanan, what are you doing after this?
So he'll just, as she starts to break down and cry, he's going to take that vial and sort of catch some tears and wipe them away. Go forth, child, and sin no longer. Be received in the forgiveness of Pelor's radiant light. And then he will just sort of sweep his hand out of everyone in front of him. Though you may not know them by the clothes they wear and the company they keep, you must reveal the sinner, for they are your brother, your neighbor, and your partner, and their sin will devour us all. And then he's going to pull out a really fancy bowl and pass it around the table and just go forth your offerings to Pelor in hopes of his forgiveness and duty.
All right. What I need you to do is roll some base charisma check here. Most likely it's going to be a persuasion check if you'd like.
Okay.
Persuasion check, and then it'll be an advantage.
I thought that was an amazing performance.
Oh shit!
Oh, big boy.
25. You come through, you see the one that you've just committed the confession, just taken the confession from, grabs your hand, just begins to kiss it, just collect the tears. Thank you so much, Confessor Kanan. Thank you so much. He continues to cry. Like, eventually, the bowl is being passed around, coins are being handed through. It comes back around to you. It seems to have roughly 23 gold pieces in it. It's a very large sum for the villagers here from their homes and things. After collecting the bowl, the villager pulls themselves back, wipes the tears away. They're all kind of confessed in some way throughout this many hours of time. You've been here for a number of hours. At this point, they look towards you for a closing sermon.
The divine light of Pelor shines upon us all, but in our shameful imperfection, we cast ourselves a shadow. For the wickedness we are born into is pervasive, and we must never relent in our eternal struggle against it. Amen. And good night.
Blessed be by Pelor's light, they all say in unison. They begin to funnel out of the tavern.
And blessed be, the dog has returned.
Right? Pelor brought back the dog.
Pelor brought back the dog. Hold on, I'm gonna unmute you. I had to force mute you, Brad. Your mic was hot, so you should be able to talk now.
Yeah, you probably heard the ladies that found the dog yelling across the house.
Yeah, we
Sorry about
muted
that.
it, so no one heard. Yeah, no one heard anything. We got it muted.
Well, he's back, and yeah, he's at that part of his life that he's going to need a shot collar 24/7 till he gets fixed.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Alrighty.
What the dog doing?
So to put us back into the game for you, Pratt, you're at the Frosty Ale Tavern. There's also a signpost is too at the outside of the tavern, I should say, that had a kind of frosty ale that was turned over on its side. I won't go into the description of the tavern because I've already provided that. Just know that your party member, Kanan, has taken confession from a great number of individuals, giving prayer, guidance of Pelor, and also collected. What is it? What's referred to as a? It's not. Is it a tithe or is it?
Yeah.
Alms box, right? You have an alms box kind of way. And so you've collected a coin, which is very customary too for temples. So giving back and community driven, right? So after that, those individuals have passed away. They sorry, passed. They
They all died after
Wow.
giving away their life savings because
No,
they couldn't
they-
afford food
That
now.
was not what I wanted to say. They left the tavern, headed back to the village to go about their evenings and their night because we're pretty late into the time. Now you're in the tavern. No one has really done anything here yet. They've just observed Kanan doing this, and now that crowd is cleared out. But Lance is headed to the bar counter, and the barkeep has made way, which is dwarf, has made way to provide service. So Lance looks towards you. How may I help you? Lance. How may I help you?
I was just looking to get a drink, but I'm a bit busy. Down to unwind.
I'm not busy at all. Always time for ale too. What can I get for you? I have got the standard ales, blonde, slightly brown, or I can get you Barlow special.
You had me a special.
Oh dear, it's a fine dwarven stout. I make it myself. Yeah.
Off my heart.
Grabs the rusted tankard, begins to fill it from a darker casked barrel, taps it through, sets it down. It's almost black in its color, and the foam is very gelatinous and frothy atop. Warm the bones, the frost horde. Yeah, some secret ingredients in there. Are you a brewmaster, perhaps?
Know my way around potions and other things, but brewery was not my forte.
Oh, you hail from a clan on Arthuria, or you come from elsewhere land?
Southeast of here, Clan Gunnarsson.
Oh, I see. Well, as word spread, are you on the boat? Attacked?
I was overseas studying with some gnomes, learning a thing or two.
I see. Well, that's the business. We had a few of the passengers here as patrons. I've tried to offer as much as I could of free goods and things. Some of them didn't even have their possessions about them. Well, anything else I can offer you before I have some nice hearty mutton stew?
Dinner be good, yes.
Yes. Well,
Beer is good, but it runs right through you eventually.
well, is there a table you'll be sitting at, or just at the
See, we've got Motion over here. Gentlemen, dinner?
I'm stuffed, but I'll take drink.
There. Ales. Excellent.
All the ale.
drink?
More ale.
All the ale. You want
This
what
special.
your companion is having, the Barlow special, or you want something else?
Special's good.
What's gonna get me drunk?
Oh, Barlow
Yes.
special will get you drunk. Quite right. Oh, what?
We'll do that.
And for you, looks towards you, Pip.
Yeah, I'll have the same. Thanks.
Ah, well. Oh, well. My goodness, what is this? Begins to motion over, looks towards you. Oh. You need drink? You drink? Do you eat?
I do none of the above.
Oh,
You don't pee either.
Oh
yes,
my god.
yes. I do not pee.
I has never felt what it is to relieve oneself.
There's such a fascination with this. I do not understand it.
Oh, no worries, no worries. But, yeah. And for you two, ales as well, bottle specials, what the rest of your companions are drinking.
That
If,
sounds magic, man.
has anybody already asked about rooms? I'm exhausted after our long journey on the ship and everything here. Do you have rooms available?
Well, we do. Most of the passengers were picked up by the village folk. I believe a captain of your boat, Captain Gilliard, procured a room. Quartermaster is in the village. There's a couple passengers I imagine will be making way for rooms, but they don't really have much coin. Again, most of them didn't have possessions. They were able to find shelter with the village folk, and they sought their needs that way. The rooms are not great accommodation. Let me tell you, we do not get travelers in High Rock that wish to stay in here for very long. So the rooms are mediocre at best.
And how much?
Well, are you buying food this evening?
Does it come with the cost of a room if I do?
Oh, well, we might be able to barter for the right price in terms of coin. How about an ale, food, and room for the night? Put it at 5 copper.
Hmm. How about we include breakfast and I'll go 1 silver?
Had me at silver.
I will go ahead and hand him a silver.
I appreciate it. How about for all of you? Same arrangements for you? Except your friend over here.
Yes, maybe. Apologize. Could you split a gold?
Split of gold.
Yes, we're traveling a bit light on the boat. Had most of my money changed.
Oh, no worries. We can split gold if you wish.
Yes. Ike.
All
I'll
right,
just
well.
pull out 2 gold. Make sure the alcohol comes. All the alcohol.
I will make sure that alcohol is served properly for all of you. Thank you graciously. Yes, well, the rooms do not have locks. There's no keys. Make yourself about on the western wing, studio, west or east. And the captain's on the eastern. We're not having issues. And I'll bring out some bowls of stew, fresh for you, some breads as well. And, of course, tankards filled with olive special. I'll be right back.
So once he leaves, Pip leans in. So, you guys know the governor's holding out on us, or Duke's holding out on us somehow, right?
What do you mean? He gave us 3 guard.
Yeah, but something's not quite right in this town. I just got the little feeling in your gut, you know, that we're missing something.
What are you missing?
That I do not know. I didn't want to intrude too much and, piss off the most powerful person in the town while we have to sleep here.
Might be a good idea.
Yeah.
People are rarely what they appear to be. That one in particular seems to have a knack for the material possessions.
He has a knack for
Average.
something.
Well, it's curious that somebody with security, obviously powerful, is going to also put alarm spells, as they said, on their drawers and items. When getting a note from the Duke, it goes right in there. I think there's more afoot in this town than we're being told right now.
Yeah, yeah. By the way, Pip would have explained pretty much everything, maybe leaving out details about himself, about what he spoke with previously to getting here. So he would have told them about the cake idea or the food idea and all that as well.
Gotcha.
Did you
Okay.
also tell us about the all the rock testing and everything? That
Yeah, he would have.
okay.
Normally I would role play it, but just for the sake of time, I'm just gonna say he would have told everybody everything.
Sure.
So
Interesting that an iron mine is pulling up other items and testing
Yeah.
them.
That's what I said.
They did mention that the Duke's Manor was a rather new construction, did they not?
They did. Apparently, this
course.
is the first time they've had anything like him in this town.
It was rather fine construction.
What? I mean, you seem to have probably the best, Lance, the best idea here. But I mean, why would they be pulling up so many rocks and testing them? What are they? I mean, what could they be looking for?
Well, I suppose from the alchemical sense, there's plenty of use for valuable minerals. Haven't seen much of that around. I was out helping a few people prepare some medicines. Nothing like that in this town. Out of character, TM, is there any maybe a tools check or a skill check that I might have some other in character sense that I, as a player, do not have?
Based on the framing of the question, roll a history check with advantage. Since storytelling.
Okay. Should roll advantage. Not great. Oh well.
So what I guess I can provide for you, maybe just with natural just investigation too as well, but
Also, I did
Specific.
remember you mentioned that both the manor and the mine itself were originally of dwarven make. There haven't been any dwarves here aside from the barkeepers.
the lapidary and the tavern built primarily by dwarves. The
Right.
field house shows that as well. So the field house and the warehouse that were there has that same dwarvish sort of architecture, and it's remarked by the stone slate roofs. So rooftops in general, and you think about medieval level stuff, having clay tiling is creme de la creme, right? Straw thatching is like your normal thing that you would observe. So for them to actually have stone that they would create into tiles and then slate them together is remarkable, and that's showcased by dwarven work, basically stuff. That's kind of a hallmark to a dwarven building in the cities,
Right.
is that they have those rooms. So that's what you would see from the tavern as well as the lapidary. The manor has a clay tile roof to it, so it's a very, again, talk about lavish materials to bring in clay tiles for the building is really out there. Just not to use bundles of straw.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, I kind of got off topic from the question.
No, that's fine. I think you're so your history check here, maybe just passive, like I said, passive investigation, is in the level of the cavern itself after going through the fight and then looking at the tunnel that they had used. Tunnel was formed of stalagmites and structures that would be evidence of magma and lava flow. So that is a natural tunnel that they might have used and even helped reinforce and got there. If that's the case, then based on what their prevalence of dark abyss and where they're coming from, this is a very elaborate thing. This has taken maybe months, even years of time. So that's what I can offer you with your history check of stone cutting. Just knowing
Okay.
how it looked in terms of stone, how much time it would take to do what they did, and then going through with how far that might go when they were talking about the emerald, that the whole thing, right?
Right. Oh, there certainly could be more to it. It seemed to be a volcanic tunnel in origin. So certainly could be more than iron. Obsidian ores, gems of sorts that form in the magmas that cool.
All right, got some stew oil, but lays down the clay bowls, then has a whole pot, begins to ladle in. This mutton stew is riddled with that mutton meat, but also has a nice gravy to it, brown, has some vegetables, things to really make it hearty. Not a lot of fresh things here. Then loaves of bread pulls from the apron, just begins to sit down right on the table, puts a couple knives down for cutting, as well as some actual clay kind of utensils to use for eating. Then makes way for the tankards, holds them down, lets them down, then begins to hand them out to each of you. All right, well, as soon as you are done, I will promptly refresh you. Well, is there anything else for all of you?
Oh, I'm good.
Oh, what?
Conlan's just gonna chug his drink before Barlow gets a chance to walk away.
All right, grabs it, runs back, refills it, runs back. Ah, here you go.
Thanks.
Did he
Stops and
bring
stares at you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did he bring the food and the ale out?
Yes.
So I'm gonna go ahead and finish mine off. And did he give a key for the room, or is it just kind of
There are no locks, he said.
No
There are no
locks, of
keys.
course.
Yeah.
okay?
It's a hostel.
I'll go upstairs to the. Oh! No.
Just click. You got to click it.
Oh, I have to click it. Okay.
Yeah, this one is not as complicated. I guess that's the other one. Step 2. So.
I hope I don't walk in on somebody here. Anyway, I'm going to my room. As soon as I find the appropriate room.
We said we were going to be the West Wing.
Yeah, rooms in the West Wing are clear. The captain is in some room to the East Wing. Like he said.
Pardon me. When you're digging in the mines, do you bring up much in the way of things other than iron ore? Any of the miners talk about their findings? I'm talking to the barkeep.
Well, moves back, grabs the tankard themselves, fills it with water special, sits down at the table. Well, don't mind. I see the rest of the patrons looking around, some of them have empty tankards.
Bro, like,
Oh,
give me my drink.
Barlow's like completely out into the conversation. The mine has been here for a long time. Great time. Hundreds and hundreds of years. In fact, descendants of Clan Alderfist, House Hierarch, come here. They formed their own clan Hierarch, and then the village and the mine. It had a very rich vein of iron within it. Something to note about Clan Alderfist is they actually don't hold a gold mine. So the original people that came here, the dwarves, they were looking for gold. They were looking for riches. They were not looking for iron. So when they found this deposit, they continued to press forward, ignoring the iron at large and trying to find the gold. But soon enough, they lost terms of their coin and they needed to get some sort of resource to sell. They started to harvest iron. It was when they went into the depths of the mine, tales begin, that there was trouble. That there was creatures that would lurk, feasting on these odd crystals in some of the caverns, filled with perhaps gems that they wished to move through and sell. They were large insects that would move the tentacles and thrash themselves about. And they were scared of something, these insects. When they caught wind of the miners would flee, but the insects would not pursue. There was another creature that would lurk in the shadows soon enough, making way to these caverns, closing them off even. Great magic.
She.
Mm.
Creature
Yes,
of
you
magic
see.
that stalks the mines.
Ah, magic. I do not know if it still lies. These are fables and tales. I have spoken with Corvus great lengths.
Oh, she.
Corvus has a collection of books from many descendants here. I personally am not a descendant of Clan Hierarch. I actually was born and raised in Thornhill, Clan Alderfist Wars. And I was family of brewers, so I stake my claim. Built the tavern by myself in my own hand. Wasn't remotely this large or impressive before I was arrived here.
Well, I could guard you here if we haven't had a good drink after that boat ride. Ugh. Can't imagine where I'd be.
Oh, it's fine dwarvish stout is only found home in the great hearth.
What about? Do you know anything about the Duke? Other than
Duke is an asshole.
I like it.
A right cut, if you ask me.
In what way? Other than the obvious.
Yeah.
Oh. Duke arrived here. Stagecoach, wagons, different servants and aid. Promptly came through and didn't pay any attention to this tavern. Built their manor out of vast resources and coin that they had and gave little or nothing to any of the village folk. They didn't even tell of why they were here until the manor was well established. And then they sent their servants, that lease head servant primarily, to find businesses of the village, telling them that we were to offer up things of aid, not just to the manor, but also to the village folk in the rock mine. That is when we overheard the royal sanction from many of the miners passed down from Palin, most likely in heated gossip. 24/7, the mine was to run to meet that quota. And fractions on the coin were they to be sold to the Talthars. Halu
Sounds like
still
Robert.
pays. Halu still pays a good wage to the miners for their work, even though they only get a fraction of what they would get normally selling their wares.
Well, there
So
is
Halo's a
war.
good guy.
Everybody has to contribute, sacrifice for the greater good of the Talthon.
Well, I
What?
wouldn't say a good guy. No. It sounds like he's paying them, but not nearly what their product's worth. They were selling themselves. No, it sounds like he's positioned himself as a pretends to be a saint, but reality he's ripping the poor bastards off.
Did I misunderstand that? He was still paying them a good wage, right? Despite him making less. Did I misunderstand that?
No, so out of character, what Barlow had stated is that the Harak Mining Company, by royal sanction, has to run the mine 24/7 to meet the hefty quota that has put forth. Basically, they have to run 24/7 to extract enough iron to meet the demand of what is put forth to them. In addition, Palo has to sell that iron at a fraction of what they normally would sell it for. However, regardless, they still pay the miners the same as they had did before the royal sanction.
Ah, I misunderstood that. So yes, he's the good guy who's paying them out of his own pocket or from some other revenue stream
Correct.
to make up for the loss of having to sell the iron ore for so cheap to the government by mandate.
And given evidence by how much coin they can offer you for your quest. Well, they have other coin options. So Pelu is a good person to not cut. They're a business person. They're still a company owner. They still run business, but they are a good person in some way,
Right.
giving evidence to that. I would say. Now, Barlow, at this point, drinking half of their tankard from that conversation. Some of the patrons are holding their stuff up. Oh, if you will excuse me, after an hour or so, that was hit a little bit hard, that batch. After an hour or so, if you want to continue to pick up this conversation, I'd be more than happy with some of the patrons come back. If you excuse me, I'm coming, don't worry.
Yeah, out of character, I think I was mentally flipping Palu and the Duke because they were kind of mentioned in the same breath.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Duke is the
Word.
asshole from the government that's forcing the
Yes.
Yeah.
imposing the will
Barlow-
of the Talbot.
Barlow remarked them as a right cunt.
Yes,
Right.
yes. Does make me wonder though, like what? I mean, sounds like Palu's been paying these guys more than what, making up out of his own pocket for a while. I wonder if he has some other revenue streams to cover that, where that coin is coming from.
Possibly. You know who I really want to talk to? Elise.
Oh, also,
I'm not so
we're
sure you want to do that.
we're meeting the guards bright and early, like an hour after the sun comes up. So you probably don't want to stay up too late tonight, or you may not get to sleep too long.
Right.
Good point. Good point.
And apparently, there's going to be cake.
Yes.
That was
No
his
one eat
idea.
it.
He wants to
Yes.
give dwarves cake. I don't understand. I would rather just stab them.
Yeah, well, we saw how that turned out last time, didn't we?
Cake. Surely you meant to just bring them like brandy or something. If you meant to bring fruit or sweets.
Ooh, that is a good idea. Make sure to note of that. We will offer that as well.
What are you
I'm sure if we
doing?
give him a couple gold.
Yeah. Acquire a keg of this Barlow special, perhaps.
Oh,
Ooh. Cake
Now you're thinking with portals.
I like it.
Though, if we do find ourselves amidst the calamity of violence, it will be a shame to see all that cake and beer go to waste.
Then we just eat it when we win.
We're in a bit of a victory feast with it.
So, on that note, I guess you're right. Probably should get to bed. As you know, I am definitely not a fighter, so I'm gonna need all the energy I can get, and I guess I will try to speak to Miss Elise another time.
Before everybody retires, may I ask what our general goal is in the morning rise?
Meet up, find dwarfs, present cake and ale.
We speak of the dwarves that are missing in the north.
I forgot about them.
No, the dark dwarves, the Durgar that we met.
Yeah, so
Trying to parlay with them.
it seems like everyone seems to, wrapping themselves around pursuing the Grey Dwarfs, where they come from, pursuing the quest that Pelu has provided them, and now collected 3 guard as well as a cake and a message from the Duke. Now the other thing you had mentioned there, Lehman, that could become that could become a thing too to offer in terms of quest. Maybe Pelu is concerned enough you can speak to them about it, because they did show signs that they're a little bit starting right now. We're at that point where they haven't returned, and that's a problem. But we're not it's not we're not completely off the into the deep end, I guess. So but that is something that was told as a possible quest to undertake.
But yeah, I forgot all about those doors up north.
There's
Well, I'd say-
prospectors that had headed out north to a ridge line and had returned. Right, that was what had spoken. So, yeah, again, all up to all of you, and at this point, you're kind of all at the table besides Jax, and so deciding this before the morning would be best.
I say we stick to the original plan, and once we deal with this problem, depending how we go, if they still haven't heard back, we can go find them. Does that sound good, everyone?
That sounds good to me. Do we expect resistance from these
We
dwarves
have-
once more?
We have cake. I know you've
Yes,
never
cake.
tried it. It's cake and ale once we buy it. If they still want to fight after that, that's just. They're asking for it at that point.
Not that I doubt your skills in oratory persuasion, but I would imagine that the likelihood of violence is not insignificant.
I mean, it could happen. Yes. But,
If I'm getting this correct, you means to sway them with a cake and booze?
yeah.
And a letter from the Duke.
I don't know about that letter. I don't. We might want to read that first.
We're not gonna have the guards get the letter. Yeah.
Yeah, I say we try to keep the guards at a distance they can get to us, but not actively involved with the talks.
But more muscle.
Yes, we don't want them more muscle at this point. We want them close enough to provide more muscle. But if they're too close, we saw what that turned out last time.
I
If
am
no
more
one eats this
intrigued.
cake, I am going to be very disappointed. And I'm sorry, my robot friend. I can put some on your armor, and you can act like you're eating it if we get to eat it. Does that help? Can you smell?
I am more intrigued to see these grumpy dwarves try to enjoy your cake. And then hopefully a dragon. You should try that with the dragon. Maybe you persuade it with cake.
Dragon.
Yes.
No,
Yes.
no. I persuaded the dragons in different ways, but we don't need to go down that road yet.
I don't even want to know.
That's a good story, but not tonight. It is late, and yeah. Any other things before I call it a night and get my beauty sleep? I mean, I gotta try to match this dude. He points over at Kanan.
I wish you the best of luck in your endeavors.
Yeah. You just look at it and tell the people you slept with my wife.
I will accompany you upstairs, but I will not be joining you in the rooms.
Well, I
I think
would
it's downstairs, right?
hope not.
Downstairs.
Oh, it's down
It's
downstairs.
a basement.
Downstairs go down.
I mean, do you join as we're walking? He's gonna be like, do you join people in their rooms? How does that work? Do you get lonely?
No.
Haven't you asked him this already?
I did, but now I'm just more curious on how things work. As he just kind of fades off.
Where did Jax get off to?
He said he was going to bed.
Sleepy, that one. I suppose I shall retire as well. Ministering to the faithful is exhausting.
I'm gonna go train, and then I'll come down too. And Donald's actually gonna go outside and just practice his glaive.
I want
Do
to
some
practice not
push-ups.
getting hit.
Pip, you open the door. You see Captain Keely Yager on the eastern wing. It's west to east, right? Left is west, east, right. Sees the Captain Keely Yager is laid down on a fresh thing of hay, blanket over top, and a pillow, snoring softly, asleep. So you don't need to move your tokens for this. If you like to, you don't need to move the tokens. But the underdwelling is very simple. It has a roughly 7.5-foot ceiling height. Stone tiling fits into almost bedrock in terms of the way it's laid out. Stone doors. They have candles lit with light here, set in bowls and placements. And it's a straw, blankets, and pellets. This is literally it. There's nothing else. There is a washroom as well as a fixture, perhaps for relieving yourself. 2 separate quarters for that, chambers for that. And those admit to the actual main hall that goes from west to east, where the staircase goes down. Very simple. Again, this is a tavern that does not actually have travelers, really. And so this is almost something that Barlow, given the information they actually had built this tavern themselves, they probably had decided, I got to have some rooms, but they can, it's best I could. All right. Is anybody staying for the conversation with Barlow after they finish with the patrons, or are you all just going to head for rest?
I think Lance would. What the heck?
And then,
Real
Donlin,
quick.
where are you headed? Sorry, go ahead, Chuck.
No, go ahead. With Donlin. He's outside trying not to get hit by himself.
Yeah, he's just outside practicing, and then he's gonna go.
You're
to bed.
outside practicing?
Yeah, he's just like
We're gonna make
swinging glaive around.
Go make a perception check. Jax?
I'm going to change what I said in chat. I would like to actually change to knowing that he's in here and I haven't seen him, the captain of the ship. Voice, everything. And I'm going to make my way over to the Duke's house. I would have liked to done all that and been out of there before these guys came downstairs.
Right. Okay. So, Jax, you want to disguise yourself as the Duke, and you want to head to the Duke's
No, the captain.
Disguise
The
yourself
captain.
as the captain.
Yeah.
And head to the Duke's manor. Okay.
Yep.
Donlin, you have a 12 here. You are outside practicing, swinging around. You're cold, the snow's falling down, but you're working through your forms. You don't see anything of note. There's a couple of villagers in the shadows moving around, paying no attention to it. We're going to go ahead and take a break at this point so I get some water and rest my voice just a little bit so we don't die and not have the rest of our session. So far, so good. I've been a little pain, but it's not destroying itself, so that's a great thing. So we're gonna take a 10-minute break or so. We push it to 15. So you gotta get drinks, use the bathroom and such, and then we're gonna pick it up with Jax, disguised as the captain at the Duke's Manor. All right. If you're watching the stream, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back about 7:20, 7:25 p.m. PDT. So see you in a bit. Bye.
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 All right, welcome back. Thanks for continuing with us after the break. So we're getting to a point of some a little bit of time where we're going to be preparing role play, and then we'll hopefully get back together in the next day. So right now, I'm just going to go ahead and advance the time clock a little bit, as well as clear out a number of these patrons, if not all of them. So at a certain point this night, after a couple hours have passed in terms of time, patrons are leaving, and they leave because it's cold, have work in the morning. This tavern is not one of those ones that people are jamming out, playing with bards right until the crack of dawn. So very homey type place, and then all of that. Arlo then comes and sits down next to you. Oh, all right then. Well, there's a rag over their shoulder. Fills the tankard with more Barlow Special. Fills yours. Sits it down. Just you then?
Yes, the others, they wanted to get a good night's sleep before tomorrow.
After the ordeal that all of you had, I can imagine so.
Well, right. If you don't mind me asking, sorry, go ahead.
Just kidding. Go ahead, dude.
So, do you know much? Of course, we all heard the stories of the Durgar, the boogeyman, as a child, but you heard much of them around these parts. Any other appearances?
Are you talking about fables and tales of childhood age? Grey wolves. Is there accounts of them?
Well, we ran into some in the mine parts that were blocked off by some of the miners there.
Oh.
That's why I was curious to see if any tales had resurfaced.
Thought it was just some creature, not great wolves coming in. I haven't heard anything, no rumors of these great dwarves elsewhere. Travelers and other patrons of the village coming in. No one's talked about that at all.
Well, when you mentioned some magical appearances, it made me wonder. Could be.
Yes, well, these are not grey dwarfs. They were depicted in some of the books from the accounts of the miners and descendants of Korvas' family. They resembled these large, orbous, floating creatures. Shadows they lurked with guttural language. Never really got a good look at them in the dark, though. Good night.
Just watch him as he goes. This is new knowledge to me. Despite having been near some of the mines and the miners, this isn't ringing a bell of any historical accounts previously from home.
No, not at all.
Something. So remind me. So miners, creatures that the miners were afraid of. Large orbous mass that the creatures are afraid of. Am I getting the dynamics right?
Quite, yes. The large insectoid things.
Yes, the insectoids.
They would attack the miners sometimes if they were caught off guard and surprised in some way. And these stories. But the creatures this orbish, floating, would always stay in the looks of the shadows. They were hostile from the depictions to the insects, not to the miner. Beyond that, the miners would flee. They would. I don't blame them. They don't get paid enough for that. This is what led to the downfall of the mine in the accounts. Gone through the books that Korvas has, the history of the clan High Rock. It wasn't just that they were in need of coin. Eventually, they were able to pay off their debts with the export of the iron, the gems they found, though they didn't find gold, was that the miners that had worked here had fled. Wanted any part of what was here. This was many hundreds of years ago. Well before you or I's time. Generations back.
Well, it might be a interesting conversation starter if we do end up meeting with these Duergar again. Perhaps they know more about the things that crawl the halls of their home. I think, what else? Well, I think that's. I didn't want to bring up the Duergar with the patrons here, scare everybody off, but thank you for your information. I appreciate it.
No, you're most welcome. And very generous, your party, your companions. You are very kind folk.
We try a bit of a disparate lot. Stuck together by
Well,
unfortunate circumstances.
Yes, well, that may be, but tends to be sometimes the most welcoming of friends.
Suppose so. Well, I'll leave you to your craft and cleaning up the halls here.
Yes, I just have to do some cleaning and put away food and things and get some sleep myself. So, Mr. Rag stands up, grabs a tankard. More than welcome to refill at your leisure. To be in the kitchen. And good night to you.
Good night. And Lance will turn it.
All right. 1 second here. All right, so Jack's going to put the time back a little bit. Up there. So you should be pulled to scene here. I'll pull the stream view as well. So the manor coming to it does still have smoke billowing from the chimneys, the wind howling through the village. Not many people, if at all, are out right now. Only a few, maybe traders by their fires that they have with pots, drinking very into the late evening. You come to the manor after using the road, being mindful of shadows of guard perhaps, but none are about. From the windows looking in, many are covered now with curtains. So there's not real viewpoints of looking in, but there is light backdropping from that, suggesting that the lanterns that they have are still lit, providing light within the space. You are making for shadows in the curtains. You don't see any, no movement really. Everything is quite quiet.
So, I'd like to, as much as I can, look kind of around the outside of the house. What I'm looking for is, with my limited knowledge of upstairs, is what I think would be a second-story window that I could potentially try to climb up to.
Okay. So you know that the in particularly this section here, that is single story, and then if you're able to climb that single story, there isn't any windows that faces that end. The windows for the structure primarily on the back end of the building. So if you come around back here, I'm going to go ahead and now bring you to this scene because we're now going to have you face on the second story of the building. I'll pause very briefly as I move token. So those are the windows above you there, showcased. They only have windows on the back side and 2 on the front end. And again, you have to think about the cold and based, and so They have fires and things roaring, many chimneys, many smoke stuff, but they have to have limitations on the amount of windows they have in areas that don't have heat provided. So you can see this in terms of size. You can scale up to these windows. Nothing is difficult for you to work on the hand and the grooves of this brick stone to make work up to the windows. It'll be about opening the windows, knowing that they have hinges on the inside of them. They're not really locked, but they prove a challenge to try to unlatch and then push open.
So, on my best estimate, being upstairs on the second floor, the room I didn't get to, would I be able to tell that it's probably this window or this window that would lead to that room?
So are you looking for one of the bedrooms? Or are you looking for? You said that you're looking for a room that you were trying to get into, but you didn't get into. You said the direction of top right of the manor or top left.
No, I'm just trying to get into the second floor right now, but I know that there's a room in the hallway that I saw a door to before I went into the bedroom. So I was trying to figure out if one of these
Yes.
two would.
Though
would lead
all
to it.
three of those windows will get into the room with the double wooden door that
Okay.
was on the eastern wall of the northern hallway.
Okay, and all of them seem like they have adequate cover for me to try to climb up and look inside real quick.
You are in darkness and concealed by snow, and there hasn't been any fresh tracks on that snow suggesting there's patrols around the manor.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and climb up to the far right window as we're looking at it, and I'm gonna sit there with my ear close to the windows as I can and listen for any sounds, talking, or movement, or anything that would indicate somebody's in the room.
Roll perception. You don't hear anything.
We're good. All right. Well, hearing that, I'm gonna go ahead and try to open the window.
Okay. So you have second story work, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So you shouldn't have to make a check or anything, I believe, to climb this. But upon getting to the window and getting yourself crafted, you have only one hand to work with to try to unhinge the window. For that, I need you to make a check with your thief's tools if you're going to be using that, or a sleight of hand check if you don't have any.
I have tools, so. Are you fucking kidding me? The same roll? Oh,
All right, so 13 comes through on that. Again, the window is not locked. You're able to slip some tools between the seams of the windows, undo the hinge as it comes slapping down to the other side, and then just graciously kind of push the window a little bit open. Slides.
I
through
would.
the curtain.
Oh, I'm
Pull the
sorry. I would
curtains
obviously
back.
look in the room as well before I just fucking jump in.
Pull the curtains back and look into the room. You don't see any people in this room.
Okay. The last room didn't have any booby traps, so I'm gonna go ahead and trust it. I'm gonna walk into the window and close it behind myself without latching it. That way I can make a quick escape if needed. But I'm gonna push it down. Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me.
All right.
So in the space, you see twin fireplace face either side, the mantles fit with different trophies and things, couch, cushions on the opposite side of you. There's many bookshelves in here with ledgers, notes, and books, particularly related to business, orientation of trade, shelving units fit with other sorts of knickknacks and items, illustration, a wardrobe nearby you to the right, a chest to the left with a padlock on it, a large desk fit with drawers. Some of those drawers appear to have locks themselves. There are scrolls and other things loosely laid out here, as well as golden goblets and pitcher. Those are empty, and the scrolls are unwrit.
All right. I'm gonna take a gander through the desk first, and I will unlock or try to unlock any drawers that may need to be unlocked.
So you're gonna try to unlock drawers.
Well, there's unlocked ones. I'll do those first, and then I'll go back and do the locked ones in the desk. quietly as I can. I want to try to get through the whole desk here.
Okay. So go ahead and flip this one off. So as you go through the drawers that don't have anything locked there, inside are ink pen, ink, loose pieces of parchment and paper, some accents of gold. There's also the House Arillo symbol that can be stamped with wax or with ink upon pieces of paper. There is a small box filled with other sorts of pendants and different pen, kind of these almost things you could attach pieces of paper, other things to accent it. There's also scrolls in here that are undone. So at this point, you're not finding anything of value. There's no gold, really. Then we get to the lock drawers. I need you to make a Thieves' Tools check. By the way, you're not rolling with advantage, are you? It's just 2 dice.
No. It's I don't know why.
It's the same dice. It's like
Yeah.
it's tripping me out a little bit, but it's not. I don't think it's 2 rolls. It's just
Let me
one,
try.
but it's sending.
So sleight of hand is not. It just seems like it's thieves' tools.
It's just the Thieves' Tools. That's so fun. That's so funny. I like it though. I think
mean,
it's cool the way that it
yeah.
comes through. Another nat 20. You rolled 2 nat 20s on the opposite side. It's awesome.
Should have saved that.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I didn't think I had advantage, but I
No,
mean,
it's not giving you advantage. It's just
Yeah,
it
okay.
looks like it's just it's
So
showing 2
weird.
dice, but it's the same roll. Yeah, it must be a glitch or something. So you have a natural 20 coming through with the Thieves' Tools. You're able to unlock the drawers as they're relatively easy. It doesn't take a whole lot of work to kind of go into the small keyholes and unlock them. You now are attached with the now unlocked drawers. Do you open those?
You said they were locked, right? So they were probably locked for a reason. So I would like to just search, as I slowly open it, search for anything like I did in the Pelus workshop. Make sure there's just not a wire or something there that's an obvious trap.
All right, go ahead and make an investigation check. 11. As you're looking for wires, are the things that would be hindering your ability to open these drawers and cause a trap to unfold. You do not find it.
All right, so I'll go ahead and open one at a time here to peek and see what's inside.
Okay. You open one at a time. The first drawer that you open of a series of 3 of these locked doors. First drawer has gold in the form of platinum pieces. They're placed inside of a kind of like a cigar box with the rolls, right? A chip box or something, right? So you have those platinum pieces that are laid outwards. A total of 500 platinum gold pieces are inside of that box. It's a large box. It fits the whole drawer, right? So as you open it, 500 platinums there. You then go to the second drawer as you open that up. This drawer has other sorts of letters and things from Lord Thalon Falor, or other messengers on behalf of them, envoys of Falorki. And those letters, after kind of ruffling through, because they're open and they're just collected in here. After scanning those letters, would suggest that the Duke has been appointed and they are under royal decree to meet this quota. And so these conversations are really just more of the reports, responses to the reports that the Duke sends. And it seems that the Duke is keeping them for some reason. Just good accounting, right? Good reporting. Not a lot of information's held within them. We come to the third drawer. So, as you
Nice
open the
knowing you
third
guys.
drawer, as you open the third drawer, inside you see a single scroll that is tied and clipped by an odd draconic head laced with scale as it wraps around the scroll of parchment. something you didn't see from your investigation, which catches you off guard, is that the drawer has felt lined in this. You pick up the scroll.
Hmm. Yeah, fuck it. I'm gonna pick it up.
You pick up the scroll. As you do, moving your token in place to position of where the drawer was, you pick up the scroll. You have it within your hand. What do you do next?
Going to close and lock the drawers. But before I close and lock the platinum drawer, I'm going to take 15 platinum out of it.
Okay.
And then I'm going to lock it and make sure that everything on the desk is the way that to my best memory, the way that I found it, drawers locked and everything.
Okay. So, as you are locking the drawer, taking the coin, as soon as all the drawers are locked, the coin is pocketed, you hear the soft, subtle slippers against marble floor outside of the door.
Like right outside the door, like opening it type thing.
You hear the sound of the door handles moving.
All right, I will make a beeline for the window that I left unlatched. Open it, go out it, and close it behind me.
You go out of the window, and as you do that, the doors swing open. As the Duke steps forward, dressed in a miraculous gold and red robe, draped over them with lavish different hints of silk. You step outside of the window. Make a stealth check, please.
Oh boy. Okay.
21. You see as the Duke steps forward and looks around from left to right. As you do, you softly close the window. The curtains are already closed, flushed down, blocking your line of sight. The window is not locked, though. It's closed. You lock it.
I mean, I already took some, so at that point he's gonna know somebody was there. No, I'm gonna just leave it like that. I'm gonna use an action. Actually, no, I won't. I'll just go ahead and start working my way down from the second floor and heading back to my room in the tavern.
As you begin to climb downwards, the curtains open wide. You see the Duke standing at the top of the floor above you in the window, looking from left to right. And then the curtains closed.
So, when I'm safely away from the Duke's residence and in a dark corner, I am going to change back into my Jack's nondescript human that nobody can recognize out of a crowd.
Okay. So you're making your way from the manors. You change your appearance. Inside of the village, you're also keeping your perceptions aware. You don't see anyone pursuing you.
I'm going to
Make your
just
way
make my
back to
way
the
back
tavern?
to the room. Back to my room. Go to sleep for the night. I mean, I assume all that would have taken, with time, a couple hours to get there, do that, get back stealthily.
It probably wouldn't take a couple hours. Put it in the ballpark of maybe 30 minutes. So
Oh, okay.
the village is not very large, so it's
Yeah,
very
true.
easy to get across and stuff. Puts you right around the same time that Lance would be heading down to the basement area. But we don't need to role play that per se or have that be a factor. Just gonna activate the basic map here of the tavern. They're showcasing you and your respective rooms. Something that does catch your kind of your just your I would say for you Jax with your backstory is that the Duke went to that window and not the other
Yeah.
two, which is interesting. Perhaps the curtain moved, left, something they caught. Who knows? But you have the scroll in your possession. You now enter into your room here of the actual underdweller of the tavern. Everyone within their respective places. Candles softly lit, providing light. This is where we're going to come to. Is anybody doing anything for the rest of the night?
Nope.
Not me, sir.
So without that, I'll go ahead and advance the time. This is the true test. If an error shows up, this is the first time.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
Any
no
errors?
error.
It's the next day. There's no errors. That's so great. I'll take it. All right, y'all can take a long rest now if you'd like. If you need to, anyway, since we did a long rest with the level up. But
Yeah, I'm good.
so, given the time that you slept, you're waking up, you're probably pretty groggy, some of you, if you're up later than the rest. Drinking as well, maybe Donlin, you might be feeling it in the morning. The Barlow Special has an ABV right under 20%. So you're, yeah, it's a thick boy. So you might be feeling it, but come on, let's be Donlin for a little bit. I think you'll be all right. And as you arise, you begin to head upwards towards the top level. Again, you don't need to move your tokens at this point if you don't feel like you want to. I'm just going to go ahead and put us onto the next floor here, and I can move your tokens there, or we can go directly to the field house. Depends what you all want to do.
Well, I know Pip is gonna want to find the bartender if he can and get the alcohol because he forgot to ask for that last night.
So Pip making a stop for alcohol. Okay, does anybody else want to do anything before heading to the field house? No? Okay. Well, we can shortcut that then, Pip. We don't need to roleplay that. Easily able to acquire a nice bottle of whiskey or brandy for Barlow for roughly 8 gold. All right. All right, so as you pass in the direction of the field house, eventually you get here. Working on the switchbacks up to the bluffscape, you see the familiar structures. You can see activity here, 24/7 operation. Right, this is working all the time. So Palu has a nice bear kind of wolf pelt over the shoulders, keeping themselves warm with black leather gloves. Their assistant, noted as Timothy now for all of you in terms of overhearing conversations, there, bundled up as well. 3 guard are there. The guard that are here, they have, in terms of equipment, they wear chain shirts primarily right now, and they have shields with battle axes ready to go. So they're a little bit more, perhaps, umphed, if you will, than the others you've seen with just spears or simple mundane things, they seem to be okay. The way they're dressed and more. Maybe these are just the creme de la creme of the guard that are here. Who knows? One of the guard has a large cake. Cake itself is roughly 27 inches in height. It has a white buttercream, dare I say Italian meringue, fit with... I love Adam's face when I said that. So great. Fit with purplish violet roses, piped neatly and fit with a bit of greenery. Guard holds the cake, complaining slightly as the shield's on the back and the battle axes to the side, and you all are now unseen.
You know, out of character. Probably about to hand him a cake covered in like iron fillings and coal dust. Once it goes in the mine. Done. Mines are not sent.
You mean
How do you,
dwarf don't like
how do you
cake
cover a
with-
cake?
Yeah.
Well, imagine
No,
using
say mines are not
mine
sanitary
cart.
places.
The mine carts.
Yeah,
You,
yeah,
you need the Betty Crocker cake carrier, man. You're good. You're good.
yeah. Hold
I mean,
on.
there's 3 guards carrying 1 cake. Like, fucking, they can figure
It's like
it
they're
out.
one job. All right.
As we're
I
as we're walking up, though, Jax will bring up the point that we should probably discuss compensation from Pelu.
We already did, didn't we? It's 500 apiece.
Yeah, he already offered to pay us for this bit. Finally,
I thought
'Cause
that
we-
was
You
the
did for
Duke.
this bit.
That was this.
Oh, I thought it was the Duke that offered us that.
No, you came back to the
Oh,
field
okay.
house, and at the end of session 2, that's what we.
He's already got
Oh, okay. I thought it was the Duke. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Pelu and the Duke, same guy.
Donlin, I heard you speaking of Smith stools earlier.
You heard what?
Did you want Smith stools?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm going to hand him the ones I created.
Do you remember how to trade?
Yeah, I sent it to him. I sent him a trade request.
Oh,
You needed Smith stools?
you're my best friend. Yeah,
I had
man.
some on me.
Oh,
It's
I think
a
we're gonna
lot.
have a.
a lot of tools in
Maybe a
this party.
showdown here. Grabbing your Smith's hammers. Let's begin. Forged and fired.
Yeah.
All right, I need you
That's-
to make me a
Why
blade
really?
with an 8-inch length from tip to
We've got the
In the
dwarf.
in the style
got-
of your choosing.
We've got a dwarf style. We got a giant style. We got a. I don't even know what the artificer style is going to be, but we got something.
You'll be using these buckets of 1080 ball bearings. We need a we need a standby.
Canister Damascus.
I watched Forged and Fire. I have.
That'll be our beach episode.
Who
It's just-
doesn't watch that show?
It's pretty good.
We just spend the
Nothing
next
really to
3
put on,
weeks in
just
High
to
Rock.
Oh no!
Forged and Fire, Dungeons and Dragons edition. All right. So as you do this, Pelu moves over towards all of you. Looks welcome. Good thing you all here. The guard are getting a little bit cold being out here, but it's all right. They have the cake. That was requested. They have the letter as well. The one in charge here points towards a human that turns around with brown, blackish eyes with a darker complexion. And has this almost like purplish kind of maroon hair, so it flows down, put into a braid. Holding the battle axe and shield, puts it away, bows the head a little bit. Hello,
How's it going,
my name's Henry.
Henrik? Nice to meet
Yeah.
you.
Leading the guard here that are accompanying you. We have a cake. I have a letter that reaches into under your shirt. Signed letter from the Duke to exchange for peace.
All right, so the game plan, just so everyone's on the same page, and correct me if I'm turning to the other guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the game plan is for you guys to kind of stay close enough to be able to jump in during a fight, but further enough away you don't appear as a threat.
Yeah, we were given orders from the Duke to only engage if we are attacked.
Okay.
If you instigate a fight, we're not joining it.
We would never do such a thing.
I hope not.
But you guys will be holding the cake, right?
Yes, we will ensure the cake's
And
towards survival.
and this too. And he
Looks back
hands
to
them-
Pelu. We're gonna have problems moving the cake through the mine. Pelu looks back. Maybe. I might have something for that. One moment here. Pelu disappears.
Nate's gonna give us a bag of holding for the game.
Comes back holding a bag, a satchel. One bag of holding for the cake. Yeah, put it in here. Versus the cake that's in the bag of holding closes it.
That might be the cheapest bag of holding.
Then hands the bag of holding to Henrik. There you are, the young lad. Henrik puts it on the side saddle and shoulder.
And can you guys hold this too? And then hands in the alcohol as well.
Henrik takes it, puts it in the bag. Is that just unlimited, Palin? Oh, it's a bag of holding, Henrik. I'm sure you're not familiar with that. It goes into not limitless, but a nice large space that you can put things. It's called magic. Looks towards Palin. Okay, magic. It's back. Shall we go?
Yes. Yeah.
As they turn around, they begin to head in the direction of the mine.
Go forth, Dragon Tamer.
What could go wrong with cake and alcohol?
A lot.
Have you seen any wedding that's ever gone wrong? Like, a lot could go wrong.
You also have a very short person with you who's only good at stabbing stuff
That's debatable.
and fixing the weapon that he's good at stabbing people with. That's pretty much all he's good at.
Not staying alive, apparently.
No.
It's alright. There's a reason Pip is a lover, not a fighter.
I mean, he does have the lowest hit point total in the group.
No, you still have the lowest. Chill.
Man, a little defensive there, huh?
I just have like the second lowest somehow.
Oh,
But
look
yes,
at that.
I am a little sensitive, okay?
Grouped them up
Does he
to
come
move
in?
them.
I don't have to move them. Yeah, I don't have to move them. So it's called follow. You can follow. Press F on your
That's true.
keyboard and you'll follow. So you see as Henrik approaches one of the guard up here, they grab hands, kind of clasp and a handshake. They utter some words themselves, simply greeting in kind. They recognize each other, right? Henrik and the other. As they kind of begin to discuss what their endeavor is. These guard have been here most likely all night and have kept a watchful eye. And from that, you see as Henrik is dismissing them in some regard, saying that once we're in, don't wait up. We'll be forward with the adventurers. And upon that, we're going to take your leave, take a break, and see what happens after that point. Basically, go back to the Duke or to Pelu, right? And assess what to do next. If you need to barricade this or block this again, come back. which might find that a little odd that Henrik is so quick to dismiss this guard that are placed here. But it seems to be of good intentions that they deserve a break for their work of waiting here all night, and that there are not enough of them to simply replace them. Miners are also looking a little bit that, hey, whoa, hey, where are you going? Right? We got work to be done here, and the barricade isn't going to put off things. Now come to the other guard here that was talking to Henrik. This guard is halfling. Finn. Let me go ahead and kind of put the name to the token there. Halfling. Well, we have been put guard here for some time, and just knowing Henrik, that we've heard a lot of things happening in there. Points towards the barricade. Steps of boots, shoveling around of things. Nothing has come through though, so that's good. That's good. But just so you know, Henrik, looks towards all of you, kind of sidestepping from the legs, right, left and right. You all do best now, right? Stay alive, don't die. Be bad. And you stay safe, Henrik. And crew, right? That Henrik grabs by the shoulder a little bit. We'll do all right, Finn. Don't worry. Henrik motions forward, and the guard begin to move forward, removing the barricade on their command. Henrik then turns around to the lot of you after shuffling forward a little bit. Stepping to the barricade, the rest of the guard making way, moving away. The guard that will be accompanying you press forward. After you all.
Before we go any further, can I happen to get that letter from the Duke?
I was to hold on to this until it's needed. Are you needing it now?
I mean, if we start to talking, wouldn't it be better just to have the Duke in hand to prove that, similarly, that the Duke gave me the message directly, so it appears it's coming from me.
That's fine. Reaches the chain shirt and hands you the letter.
Thank you. And he puts it in his pocket for now. Shall we go?
There is
You're the
no
one
time
who's gonna
like
talk
this.
to him, right?
Yeah, we're just gonna talk.
Onward, cake deliverer.
Technically, I don't have the cake. In my...
Just note, if you are following, this is a very tight place. This is going to be very difficult with your tokens to follow with the module. So you might glitch out a little bit. Just FYI.
So when Pip notices that the guards are kind of maybe not directly behind him or can see very well, he's going to try to pull out the letter and read as he's walking what the letter says.
Wait, did we just lose a guard?
All right, at this point, I would like to. Oh, he paused. Before anybody puts a torch up, I would like to hide and start sneaking around to go back in this direction, if possible.
I cast light on Jax's hoodie.
Fucking motherfucker.
So I'm pausing it because when you entered into the tunnel, there was the same report of noise that you were told by Finn. And that noise got a little bit more loud and then it got quiet, very quiet. Now, Lehman, you're kind of moving forward and the rest of the party, your Steel Defender is out. And there are noises aimed towards you in terms of voice and guttural language.
And I can't see shit.
You can't see anything. I'm paused.
back up here. Jax can hear that too, correct? Since he's up here.
Yes, Jax can hear that too.
I'm gonna wait here till the rest of the group catches up and relay that information about the noises.
Was I able to read the letter as I'm walking?
The letter is sealed. Are you saying that you want to open it?
Yes, I want to try without the guards seeing me unseal and read the letter.
I have to have it paused. So, because I have to move guards at the same time. So you're wanting to unseal the envelope mid-walk in a dark tunnel to try to open it and then read it.
I have dark vision, right?
You don't care. You don't care about breaking the seal at all.
No, he does not.
Okay. There's no roll that you need to do. You're just going to rip open the letter.
Yeah.
So as you rip open the letter and open it, and you begin to read it. It simply states, in a very it's a lengthy thing. Okay, it's very flamboyant with the language and stuff that was used by the Duke. It's been condensed downwards in terms of context for you, in that the Duke is looking to see what they can offer the Grey Dwarfs to stop whatever it is that they are doing. Nowhere in the letter does it state they know what the Grey Dwarfs are doing or what they want, but it offers them in terms of reference to the Talthars, gold and riches of coffers from their house, as well as maybe House of Valor, these very noble type of agencies that have affiliation with them. They're putting into this letter to maybe showcase power, strength, as well as riches. Those things can be used both as intimidation or persuasion type factors. Jax, you, better language spoken, you are heading into the shadows of their edges, trying to cling as best as you can. I've rolled a series of perception checks, one of which has spotted you. They begin to yell out towards you to halt, to stop in common.
I'll stop. I apologize. I have a hard time seeing in the dark. I didn't realize how far I'd come.
You have come far enough. They all kind of turn, looking in a general direction at this point.
Yeah, it's fine.
Hear
I'll just stay
the
there.
sound of something being strung back, a large mechanical object of some kind.
I'll just stand
Tell
there.
your companions. Uh-oh. It's emotion as they press forward. Tell your companions. Stop.
Oh, stop! You don't want them to come in here.
No.
Oh. But I think they have a gift for you. A couple of gifts for you, as a matter of fact.
Gifts for me.
Yeah. Do you remember the one that talked a lot the other day in here? He's brought some stuff for you guys, some gifts, he said.
So you are the ones that killed our patrol.
No, we came in here after.
Looks towards you, raises the war pick, and goes into swing. I need you to roll, and everyone else to roll initiative.
Oh, man.
You didn't tell him about the cake, man.
I tried.
No, he brought up yesterday.
He
where we
brought up. He
murdered everyone.
literally brought up killing all the dwarves, saying, "Yeah, we're the same people."
Yeah, you remember when we came in here and murdered all you guys and my buddy?
He literally,
Jack,
Jack, literally said that you murdered all of them.
Yeah, you know, a little
We
slip
did
of the
that.
tongue.
That was us, on us, all of us. I
Little
love it.
slip of the tongue.
That's why I do the talking.
Yeah, but you're hiding somewhere in the back.
I'm gonna
He was
tell you to
hiding the
sneak
letter.
off.
They all stay together. Jax,
I
you're the
mean-
only one. You don't have dark vision. Everyone stayed together
I
in the
know,
tunnel,
but-
moving together.
Dude,
Lehman
20
moved
to-
ahead a little bit. They're like, oh, they took a step. They went back to the party. Everyone's in the tunnel working
A
themselves
20 is a
through.
pretty good stealth roll. That's pretty good to see.
A
me
20 is a
20.
pretty good stealth roll with no cover. There's nothing. You're like clinging to the walls. Like,
Yeah, but I
you're
don't.
sitting
I
in a
have.
cloud.
I have no dark vision. I don't know that. There could be all kinds of stuff here.
Got that Kronk moment, Emperor's New
This
Groove.
man's trying to
against the wall,
sneak
like,
through the darkness with no dark vision against things
Just
that
assumed he
live
was
in
stealth
the
because he
dark.
couldn't see anything.
Dude, I
Yeah,
love
dude.
it.
Look,
This
if
is
I
great.
can't see anything, they can't see me.
Hey,
concealment
just
is
because we
not
rolled
working.
initiative doesn't mean we, you know,
Oh, now we have to murder them all again. God damn it.
not necessarily. Probably.
Now Donlin's gonna try to murder them all again.
All right, we in combat. Round 1. Jax, you are up.
See, look, it's too easy. Bonus action, disengage. Why is it only? Oh, I moved 5 feet too far. No, I have 30 feet movement. Why did it give me yellow? There you go. That's 30 feet. And I'm going to use my action to keep going back. Another 30 feet. Holy shit, they're angry! As I run through the group. And I'll end my turn.
Damn it. Why are you standing on me?
We can occupy the same square. You're fine. You're
You're a
little.
guttural noise.
Told you. Angry.
Couldn't even activate my spell.
Kanan, you're up next.
You know, we came here in an effort to parley. This all seems rather uncordial. I suggest we have a conversation, if not with you, then with your superior. He's just gonna hold Eldritch Chain if they come at us.
They said they hate Paylor, by the way.
All right. Lance, you're up next. I have to refresh my game, close my browser out, so just FYI. Go ahead.
Yeah, if Kane's gonna still try to talk his way out of this, this hallway is looking pretty cramped. Is there gonna be? Would I even be able to hit anybody through this pretty cramped hallway? Pretty filled
No,
hallway?
they're completely occluded in terms of cover.
Hearing the commotion, he is going to turn around, back up, and tell the guards, back up for a second. It's not looking so good. And
Keep
he
the
will
cake
take the
ready.
dodge action because I can't hold an action to shoot through the whole crowded hallway.
Get the cake ready.
Exactly.
Get the cake ready.
Release the cake.
Load the trebuchets with the
Lower the
cake.
trebuchets with the cake. Put that in there.
Oh my god. All I can
Man,
think right now this
if
party
we
is
brought a
Monty
cake
Python.
in here just to pie these fools like a fucking clown.
You have no idea. I switched to catapult just for that.
All right. Anything else?
Nope, that's my turn. Sorry, it took a second because the initiative tracker.
All good. All right, Donald, you're up next.
I'm going to walk back towards the guards, seeing how this is going, and I did promise they wouldn't have to fight. So I'm going to go back, and I'm just going to hold out my hand. You can give me the bag. If we get to talk to somebody, I'll give them the cake. If we don't get to talk to them, I told the Duke you guys didn't have to fight. So, like, man on my word, my honor, just give me the bag. I'm just going to hold out my hand to receive the bag whenever they go.
Okay.
And I will end my turn.
Ending turn. Henrik, as well as the guards, are going to go on the same turn. Taking off the bag, beginning to hand it towards you. If you insist, I don't know what the fuck is happening right now. Why are we stopped?
The dwarves are angry.
Lehman, you're up next.
Can I just light a torch and throw it up
Oh
there?
no!
your cover's been blown. I can't see shit.
You're lighting a torch and throwing it?
Yeah, can I just throw it up,
As
by the
as far as you
tarts?
can? Yeah, as far as you can. Okay. Over there? Okay.
Yeah, it hits him right in the head.
I swear,
I was gonna
peace.
say it was so close to clicking one of them. I just picture him smacking him in the face. With
As the torch is thrown, you see the dwarvish soldier looking at the torch now on the ground, looks towards you, the war pick raised, bangs on the shield a little bit. Hoorah!
I don't know what you're saying, but there's no need for any of this. I'm gonna step side by side with this guild defender, and it's just gonna be right there, I guess. That's it for both of us. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Then your turn.
Oh my bad.
You're good. All right. All right. A gray dwarf comes out of the woodwork, looks towards the torch, and promptly stomps it with their foot.
I'm gonna throw fucking another one at him.
This man's about to start catapulting fucking lit torches, dude.
This is
All right,
why I
Pip,
should
you're
get
next.
on work. Alright. I'm gonna get a little bit closer to all of them. Well, first I'm gonna see who has the cake.
I have the cake.
Can I get the cake from him? Or what do I need for movement or anything like
Well,
that?
it's in the bag of holding, so that requires specific action economy to pull it out of the bag of holding first.
So if I
Currently
can
is in
get
the
the,
possession of Donlin.
well, before I move, then I guess can I get the bag first?
You want to take the bag from Donlin?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Unless Donlin, you don't want them to have the bag.
He can have the bag. He's gonna try
Okay.
to talk to people. He could have the bag.
All right, so you're going to go about 15 feet to get the bag, and from there you're going to go 5, 10, 15. So there's 30 feet of movement for you at that
Okay.
spot where your croaking is right now.
And then what action does taking the would be an action to take out the cake and the L or
Yeah,
instead the-
so to interact with an object in terms of retrieving is the bag of holding specific is an action. So it takes a whole action to pull out the cake.
okay.
Unless
And it's
you're
going
a
to take
thief,
2
right?
actions essentially to get the L out as well, right?
Well, it's only an action to interact with the bag. It doesn't say one object in said bag. So technically you can pull out both in the same action.
Okay, so I'm going to pull out the L, put it on the ground, and then bring the cake and hold it in my hand. Just
Okay.
kind of holding it out.
Holding it out.
And then he's just going to proceed to talk. I am so sorry if there was any misunderstanding from my friend back there. Forgive him. He can be a little slow. We come in peace, and I bring a delicious cake and ale for you to show we mean no harm, and we would just like to either speak to your leader or speak to whoever's in charge here to negotiate peace. I also have a letter from the Duke who promises nice things as well.
Okay. So we try to keep it because we're still in combat. So remember, we have one line you can work with in combat. So you're gonna be talking, and then we'll come maybe to a persuasion check on your next turn.
Okay.
As you're holding out these items, you're making a persuasion check, right? As I'm assuming what we're doing here.
Yes.
Okay. We'll do that in your next turn. And we'll say that you're kind of finishing what you're saying, and then we'll do the persuasion check there.
Okay.
Anything else for your turn?
That is it then.
All right. Go ahead and end it whenever you. All right,
Let's
Jax, you're up for round 2.
I'm gonna die.
No, I'm gonna hold. I'm gonna hold an attack for any aggressive movements or damage done to anybody in the party, since I've heard everything that's going on. So basically, if they come at us and hurt us, I'm gonna attack them. Other than that, I'm just staying pat here.
Okay. Kaden? Same thing?
You're muted, I think, unless I'm not hearing him.
Yep, no, I'm muted. Yeah, same thing. He's going to hold an attack in case they become aggressive.
Sounds good. Lance?
Alrighty. 10, 15, 25. No, I can't quite get there. Okay. So push up to there. Probably just dodge again.
Okay.
Since we haven't come to hostilities yet, I think.
Okay.
So
Donlin.
Yeah, I'm gonna move up, and I'm going to. The Steel Defender is a medium size, right? So I can share a space
That's
with
correct. Everyone else is medium, so technically you can move through everybody and share space with it.
Sweet. Then I am going to pull out my glaive, and I am going to stand here, and I will take the dodge action. I'm gonna end my turn.
Try not to fall over from holding up the glaive.
All right.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
It's just
guard
like-
is simply there waiting. Lehman?
Really rude to stomp out my torch. I'm just gonna light another one and drop it on the floor in front of me, like just right in front of me. And that'll be the end of my turn. I'm gonna have the dog occupy the space with Pip, Kang.
So the Steel Defender is a medium-sized creature, and it cannot stay in the same space as Pip.
Is Donlin small right now?
Donlin's small,
Mhm.
so Donlin's small. So
okay.
the medium size can be on a small.
All right, that's it.
Okay. So in front of you seems to be them forming a phalanx of some kind, grouping their shields together and very puzzled and inquisitive of primarily Pip right now holding a large cake.
Yeah.
Pip, you begin to finish what you were intending to say here. I need you to make a persuasion check.
Okay. Perception. Persuasion.
Hey,
Speak your words. In the combat.
Nice. So, as I said, we give these. He walks up a little bit and puts the cake on the ground at their feet, and then walks back. We give you this cake and this L. He gets the L and does the same thing. As a peaceful parlay, if you will, to either speak to your leader or, if you prefer, the leader of this of your group, so to speak, right now. And also, he pulls out a letter and sets it on top of the L. We have a letter from the Duke, who offers you other things that his level can provide that I cannot.
What is cake?
Cake is delicious. It is a experience, if you will. If you've never had it, it is very sugary. I don't know how you are with sugar. Hopefully, none of you guys have any problems with sugar. But it is you've never had it, it can be life changing.
Diabetes runs strong in Grey Dwarfs. We take it.
Type 1 or type 2?
Get that diabetes.
I was just about to catapult that motherfucker immediately.
Sad
Oh,
dude.
Jesus.
I had no choice. Oh.
Nah, but
So they look upon the cake. They look back up to you. Motion for the letter. Grabbing it themselves, looking at the letter. Sniff the air slightly. One takes a finger, does some frosting, and looks at get under themselves. Hunting a little bit, begin to pull themselves backwards, prompting you to enter into the space. Go.
I thank you so much for your kindness. Would it just
And
be
one
me?
steps forward. And before you pass forward, put your weapons in that cart over there. Points to the west as arm yourselves.
Okay, I can do that. It's not like I know how to use these that well anyway, right? He turns to the crowd. He turns to the other party. Anybody else going with me, or what?
I believe if we are going to go, we should probably all go.
Can I keep at least one weapon? I don't want to give them. a weapon.
No.
No
Don't hide
weapons.
Kanan will toss his mace into the cart.
Donlin will very reluctantly throw his weapons into the cart.
I need 2 carts.
Yeah, pretty much. He starts throwing them in the one in the north as well. After like,
This picture. What is it? What is it? The Matrix? That they take out all the weapons, or what movie is it?
Oh,
where
as
it
you
starts-
take you have shields on you. One of the
Oh,
dwarfs
yeah.
sees the painted symbol on the shield.
No.
Sniffs the air slightly and grunts. Stares at you. Makes no motion.
At this point, me noticing from yesterday, I'm gonna go ahead and cast one of my thingies here.
go ahead.
So, as you begin to fill the space after giving your weapons, you notice that there is a ballista that has been set up with large javelins that has been pulled back and at the ready to fire, with 2 dwarfs accompanying, sacks filled with the same ammunition. Javelin has been pittened, actually stamped into the ground to make it more immobile, stable to be fired. Dwarfs see you filling in the space. They begin to continue to point the ballista in the direction. You need to go to your mom and stop hiding. Come on, Steve. No, don't hide from your mom. It's not a game, honey. As they fill in space with the ballista, just raising it, looking left and right, just showcasing it a little bit, not particularly targeting anyone. The rest of the soldiers here, after moving your weaponry, they are going to kind of move themselves in a spread but also slightly grouped pattern. One of the actual creatures staying with, one of the Grey Dwarfs staying with the weapons that have been stashed at the actual wagons. The guard begin to fill into space as well, moving them in a group here. I'm just going to have them kind of placed loosely into the side here.
So, that's going to turn to him. Before we go any further, do I have your word? As long as we don't offend or attack, you won't attack us.
The one that's been speaking steps forward. That is correct.
Okay.
I
I know.
brought this cake and a letter. But there is more to it than this. Smiles at you, couple teeth missing. Stop smiling. You may place your cake and your belongings with yourselves. You will accompany me and 2 others, your backsides, into the tunnel. The journey is long. Some of you, it might be uncomfortable. Looks towards the tall people in the party. Journey will take over an hour. For us, it's less. For you, and more.
That's respectable. I need to get some exercise in for the day.
Does he want us to put the
Right.
cake back in the bag?
I'm like damn near 7 foot tall. How am I gonna fit through this shit?
And it turns and looks, do you want us to
Up the side
follow,
road.
or should we stay here?
Well, just in case this goes sour, it'd be good to have someone stand back that can go tell people that,
No, they should come so the Duke gets the report. That's why they're here.
he turns. Are we sure we want him to get the right report?
I stab
Let's-
things. I just figured.
Someone
Anybody
make a
else?
decision now. You see the dwarfs kind of pushing you forward. The one dwarf in the lead has already disappeared into the darkness.
Just stay behind. We'll report back. If we don't come back inside of half a day, assume the worst.
Okay. All right. All right. You don't need to move your tokens anymore. You're heading into the tunnel.
See?
At this point, going to theater of mind for you a little bit about your journey in time, what's happening. The tunnel itself is descending down, sometimes at rapid pace, where it has the pooling of molten rock over time, showcasing that it has succumbed to movement of volcanic activity. Spikes form stalagmites every so often. It has natural form and then reinforcement of some kinds of the stone being squared off or aided into a manner that is respectable. Now, the uncomfortable bit comes into play that most of this tunnel is only 4.5 feet height. So for time of duration, it becomes difficult. For the tallest, they have to stop and pause and go down and then stand up and then pause again and go down, adding more and more time to your travel. Dwarf in front waits every so often. 2 dwarfs behind you continue to press you forward. You're wondering if how far this really goes and how they knew about this tunnel and all these questions that arise to you. Regardless of your questions, they all add to the intelligence of these creatures and the plan they have created over many months of time. You all are happen to be caught in the intermidst of this, continuing to push forward. Go ahead and drag tokens down based on the positions that they currently are. But to do this in a way that's met slightly where you get to see what the space is, pushing you just a little bit further ahead and grouped up slightly more than you are. 1 moment of time. So, after passing nearly an hour and a half through this tunnel, some of you exhausted, perhaps, nearly exhausted, I should say, in terms of level 1, right? Well, we're not there. It's really just continuing to press forward in this manner. It's going to reach those levels. The tunnel itself begins to widen, becomes larger and open, as if a river might have passed through in terms of something. The black rock filled with obsidian, pumice, and salt, and these other sorts of stones are commonplace in this activity. You can hear the rumbling of molten rock, shaking of the earth every so often. You've descended a great number of feet. You've traveled even further east. You're completely unaware of where you are, unless you have familiarity with the depths. Then you might be able to figure just a little bit of how much you've gone. Regardless of that, come to that. You see in front of you is a camp. War. There are stone towers that have been bricked out of the stone material, formed from natural stalagmite pillars that most likely stood tall. There is a drawbridge they have built, raised with chain and pulley. Tents littered of black mushroom canvas material. Green rocks, or black rocks, alight with green flame. Dwarfs by them. Dwarfs on the towers have crossbows raised and aimed at the ready. There's a larger tent at the backdrop of this space, and the hearing of mechanical gears of a large crane as it moves metal material. Shouting an order of combat against training them happens in the darkness and shadows of this large island in the middle sea of lava.
Nice place y'all got here.
Seems rather militant. What might you be gearing up to fight?
Looks towards you, Lance, one of the dwarves in the backside, smiles at you, speaks in Dwarvish. Keep moving. And don't trip and fall. I would hate for that to happen.
Kanan looks over his shoulder and replies in Dwarvish, "How's what I go frown?"
So, Lehman, just know that's a tower that you're trying to climb up there.
I don't see a bridge.
It's a robot. He just.
I'm gonna
They
move
have
you
the
back.
drawbridge pulled up, it looks like. So.
The drawbridge is pulled up here in front of you. Okay, so in front of you is this bridge. This is pulled up. This section has been pulled up. So right over here would essentially be a large piece of stone held by chain, suspended vertically. Fit into that space to be able to traverse across. But as the conversation in this guttural language, comprehend languages has worn out, only lasted an hour. Time has passed. The guttural language has vocalized to the tower. One of them grabs a horn, begins to blow it. You see as the individuals in the camp begin to look in the direction of all of you, grabbing their equipment and their supplies as they begin to mobilize into space. As they do so, I'm going to be moving tokens very little here to showcase how they're forming themselves. This arc they're producing. Others staying in the backdrop of space. Perhaps filling rank for reinforcements if necessary. And after the rank has been formed, stare into the crowd of the dwarfs here. Some of them stand differently than the others. Some of them have satchels, belts with metallic orbs. They have different armor. Another has a black robe, gold accents in red, quarterstaff in the hand, a book of perhaps something chained at the waist. Brain continues to be moved. Other dwarfs pay no attention to the horn. And two figures come out of the large tent. They begin to approach. Let's go ahead and get their tokens moved here. Stand side by side. One of them is in a very odd. It's very odd in terms of their appearance. They have a blackish robe that is tattered, scarred, just like their face. It's torn apart and rotten, white eyes. Their arms are folded into the robe, and they sit about a foot smaller than the rest of the companions. The other is a broad-shouldered and wide gray dwarf. They have no hair on the head, a bushy white beard flowing down the waist. They have a blackish steel maul, runes that wind up the metal handle. A single rune that sits on the hammer's head. They have a crude piece of blackened metal plate, armor with a white emblem of a fist closed on the left pauldron. They have a small leather satchel dangling from the nearby side, an adjacent greenish-hued war horn, stating that they have different signals of communication with these horns. A number of individuals carry. That one steps right to the edge of the bridge. A soldier that has spoken in that language towards the top of the tower makes way back, funneling towards your exit. The dwarf in front of you on the opposite side of the drawbridge speaks in common. I am Maul. I hand raised. What's up?
I didn't want to interrupt the descriptions too much, but you gave a pretty detailed description of the religious symbol of a closed fist. Knowing anything about, the scary legend of the Duergar, maybe they worshipped a particular god that was known to be feared. Would we know anything about that symbol?
You can roll religion if you'd like. It's a white painted fist.
Yeah,
It's
white
backside
painted
of
closed
the
fist.
hands turned away. Yep.
Isn't it the same one that was on the shield?
Exactly. It's the same
Yeah,
one that's on the
that's-
shield and yep, same symbol. You can roll
Is it-
a religion check if you want. With the
Part of the Sword
17,
Stories.
there is no religious symbol that this relates to. Only that in figurement to maybe the symbol of the Black Hand, which is the deity of Bane. But that is different the way the thumb position is, as well as the color.
Right. That's what I was thinking, like out of character, but I wanted to see if that correlated in character. So it's like,
Yeah, not quite right to the symbol of Bane. It's very similar in terms of things. So, I am Malrim Flamebelch. Of Clan Stonefist. The service to 7th Prince Grawl Stonefist.
My name is Kang.
Took you a long time to think of that. Do you forget your name often?
Unfortunately,
Surface
yes.
dweller.
Unfortunately, I do.
pathetic.
It is unfortunate.
Tell me, why is it that you are here?
To try to, I wouldn't say serve peace, because y'all have been peaceful as far as not attacking the people. So to maintain peace within the town, the surface dwellers, as you put it, and you guys.
If you are here, means you have done enough convincing to my patrol. Or perhaps they thought it best to bring you to our reinforcements. Tell me, are you adventurers? Are you the ones that killed my soldiers?
I will not dare to insult you to try to lie to you. We did have a miscommunication, and as a result, a battle did ensue. As you can well...
Quick with your words, you are. Quick with your words, but you speak too much.
That is why we have brought you cake.
Miscommunication. Chuckles to himself. I have lived a long life of many hundreds of years. I have led battles and wars and slain more enemies than you could count. Simple service dweller. Speak plainly. Tell me what it is that you have brought, and why it is that you have brought it in less than 20 words. And I am counting.
Cake. L. Letter from the Duke. In exchange for peace.
Good. Simple. And well below the mark. You have come unarmed. Means for the tower. Tower begins to pull the pulleys. Drawbridge begins to close. Sorry, it begins to lower down. Turns around. Touches the shoulder of the figure. Come across and line yourselves for me and for them to see you. See as the figure makes way from the bottom side, slowly as they begin to walk with a half hunch. They look towards you, Kanan, holding out their hand, brittled and wounded, missing a finger. Tongue lashing left to lick the lips. I want you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Not my best.
5. Feel a wave. Psionic energy brace your mind as it's probed. Hear a chuckle of a voice inside of your head. Oh, so interesting. So interesting. Finger moves on. Looks towards you, Jack. Intelligence saving throw, please. Voice still within your mind. The barriers of your mind are strong. Interesting as well. One by one, continues to move. I need the rest of you to please make intelligence saving.
The one thing I'm not good at either. Intelligence.
Oh boy.
Hang on, I'm just missing it. Intelligence. Oh, wait, yeah. Did I not roll?
I don't see a roll here. If you have your hot bar up right now,
Yes.
you go attributes, click intelligence, and it'll prompt you to do an ability check or a saving throw. After getting through, the figure places themselves at the side. You see the eyes of Malrim turn white for a brief moment. They come back with black pupils. Points towards Kanan. You there. Step
Yeah.
closer to me, please.
Certainly.
Turns and looks towards you. Kneel.
For what purpose?
Kneel. Now.
If that is your wish, you will kneel. I must warn you, if this is an intimidation tactic, I have no fear of you or your kin.
Stand.
He stands.
Back in line.
Very well.
Where is this cake and what is it?
It is right here, and he's. Pip will step forward, set it on the ground. It is sugar and happiness in edible form.
Sugar and happiness in edible form. I think I actually have literal cake sweet roll icons. So give me 1 second. I'm not even kidding you. I actually have like an icon.
Donlin's gonna whip out the fork he stole from the Duke. You can eat it with this.
Why, Donlin, where'd you get that from?
That was your escape weapon, man. You don't give that up.
Takes the fork.
You obviously
from
haven't been to jail before.
puts it into the cake and eats it. The letter.
Kind of timidly bows down and hands him the letter.
Takes it, unfolds it, begins to read it. After finishing, you all are fools. This letter and puts it within the satchel. And the ale.
What's the L next to the cake?
Takes the ale from the cake. Looks at it. Looks towards you, Lance. How would you feel, dwarf, if you were insulted like this?
The man on the
Lance.
spot.
I'm sorry. What was that?
I know you're reading something. I can totally tell.
Yeah,
on your
yeah,
face. You
yeah,
didn't
yeah,
pick
yeah.
up-
I'm sorry.
Didn't pick up anything that. Yeah, no, you're fine.
Nope.
I just want to make sure you heard what I said. So he picks up the keg next to the cake, looks at it, shifts it around a little bit, then looks towards you, and simply says, "Dwarf, how would you feel to be insulted like this?"
Let's just say it wouldn't be. I wouldn't invite them back.
Pip kind of turns to him without saying a word.
Just laughs and looks right. Sets the keg down. I will be right back. It's a hand on the shoulder. Hideous rope. Makes way back for the tent, disappearing into the flames.
I'm afraid that cake may have disagreed with him.
We've gone better.
Hey, I said it tastes good. I didn't say it comes out good.
I think he was more upset at the ale. What's wrong with the ale? Hey, dwarf.
Ah, excuse you, I have a name.
He called you dwarf. I call you dwarf.
Yes, well, he wants me dead. As far as I'm concerned, you don't, so you can show a little respect.
Oh, I'm sorry, Lance. What is wrong with the ale?
Nothing's wrong with the ale. It's perfectly good.
I mean, guys, look who we're dealing with here. Ale, a cake, and a letter. We really thought that was going to work.
It
And
has
let's
taken
not-
us this far and
What-
fast.
I did give him
Yeah.
a gold fork.
So,
What they need, what I suspect they needed is food, as in real meals. Feed a group.
Well, I would correct you in one part. I would not assume that they need anything from us. As he looks at them, just in case they heard. But
so,
it is happiness.
I don't think the cake was the right idea.
all right. So, did anybody else catch on that he called us, what was it, idiots? After he read the letter from the Duke?
Yes, but I'm hoping.
So,
he's
what did the
did
letter
that-
say? What
Yeah,
did the
was
letter
in
say?
that letter?
And I proceed to tell him the letter.
Letter states, again, in short context, represents themselves as the Duke of Murillo, giving them as a aligned person to the Telthars. Coffers of House Murillo, Valor, Orky, as well as the Telthars are available for peace. Figure out, come to some sort of agreement. Language is elegantly placed, lots of words. The purpose of it is simple, to showcase slightly powers that might be up against these creatures, but also that they are willing to peace or gold or some sort of bargain.
which of course we established they don't really need because they have gems.
So Kag, you essentially gave him a note from the Duke that started a measuring contest between both of these people now.
Yes. But I have an idea behind it. Hang on. We all agree the Duke is an asshole. The townspeople agree the Duke is an asshole. I not plan on playing it off anything, but
If this is going where I think it's going, we really should not put these two. We really shouldn't deal with the Duke.
No. I'm just merely put that if it comes down to it, we can prove that some of the actions that the townfolk offended them wasn't their own doing, but by the idiot who wrote this letter. That the townfolk mean peace. That they are limited by, as I'm sure these people respect hierarchy, by their idiot leader.
Do you know anything about the Drogar?
I know nothing about a lot of things.
That checks out. I'll explain later. But point being, I think the Duke existing is doing us a favor. We'll get into it later.
I guess we will see.
I also think trying to come to any compromise with something that this clan thinks is theirs already, probably not a good way to start.
True, which is why I never claimed that we're here to... I said they've been peaceful and we plan to maintain peace. So if we're offending them...
Dude, that guy's movement speed is off the hooks, by the way.
You're welcome.
Quality running.
Intimidation.
All right.
Can't blame the man for having asthma. Excuse me.
I have spoken. The Seventh Prince Scrawl Stonefist. You are to be taken for audience. First, towards the robed figure. Robed figure smiles, toothless grin. Back to all the rest of you. The robed figure begins to approach. Pulling a rag outwards, dirtied, gross, pouring a greenish, vile liquid into it. The robe as it jangles, pours it in. Stench is thick, vaporous, it's to motion. Face. You willingly go along with it.
I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. Is he putting it around eyes, mouth, face? As a whole?
They're taking the rag, taking the reddish liquid, putting it into the rag, putting it back underneath their robe, underneath the belt, motioning it to put it to your face of your mouth and your nose, like chloroform.
They don't want us knowing how we got to the. Do I alchemical sense? Do I recognize this as any sort of toxin or?
You can roll a check with your poisoner's kit if you'd like, and that can be intelligence based or wisdom based.
Wisdom based, please, and I'll just
Okay.
roll.
Roll flat
let's say-
d20 then, and just tell me what your modifiers are. Okay,
Wisdom's
yeah.
wisdom's +4, proficiency's +2, so a total of +6 to that.
So you're smelling the notes of this. This is from your knowledge at current with the check provided, do not smell anything in here that would kill you if not placed for if removed promptly. So if they put it to your face and then take it away, not perish. But it has neurotoxic type properties to it.
Okay. Yeah, he's doesn't want to screw this up, so he's gonna take it.
Putting it downwards. Obviously, this creature's smaller than you. Put your face down a little bit. You place it right into your thing, and in a few seconds, purposely failing your saving throw.
This is gonna be painful. Yep.
You then falter, the eyes rolling back, hitting to the left, and passing out unconscious. Now, they do this for everyone. Is anybody choosing to fight this?
This is awkward. I
We'll
can't
get to.
be
We're gonna
both.
get to you. We're gonna get to you, Liam. Yeah. Is anybody choosing to fight this?
Kanian would pretend to go along, but he's gonna hold his breath and just try to pretend to like pass out.
Okay, you're gonna try to succeed on your save. I need you to make a save.
Con?
You have success, but do you have deception? Go ahead.
Lost my character sheet.
11. As you succeed and you play, rolling to the side, voice within your mind echoes. Shall we try this again?
Well, once wasn't enough.
Apparently not. Are you still pretending to be unconscious? This is all happening in your mind.
He just responded back in his mind. Yeah, he's still just laying there. He didn't move.
Just like this.
I'm asleep. You can't hear me.
Are you responding any further? You're just laying there? Okay. The rag placed again in your face. Did you make another Constitution saving? Well, you fall unconscious.
So I was gonna try the same. I was gonna try the same thing to pretend.
Oh, you're gonna do the same thing?
I was gonna try the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. $16. Roll deception.
Nice.
The barriers placed in your mind. The creature seems to not be aware, as well as your deception faking your unconscious state. You are awake, but you have prone, falling prey like the rest of your party, crashing into the ground, falling apart. Now we come, Lehman.
To the robot.
Because Lehman did not actually succumb to this at all. The rest of your party unconscious. All walks towards you. How curious you are. What engineers made you?
It would be ones of the elven sort.
Are you with Master?
I am not.
Are you willing to take Master?
That is debatable.
It is yes or no.
Yes.
Begins to speak language. Some of them go into their tents. They pull up manacles. Motion for your hands. Restrain you. You resist.
No.
Flipping you into the manacles, dropping your torch to the ground. They begin to move you in the direction of east towards the grain, where a large tunnel begins to form. A mining cart and track are found. The rest of the party is gathered up by the creatures, throwing you over their shoulders, or taking you two at a time, right? One at a time with two of them, let's say. When you come by this space, Jax, you are hit with wafts of a smell of some different concoction. I'm going to go ahead and just move your tokens here. And I'm going to move your tokens over here for vision purposes only. Roleplay wise, this is all happening at a similar state of time. I'm not going to put any other conditions either or anything like that, right? Jax, when you peek your eye open, even without dark vision, you can see that the smell is coming from stacks of metal barrels. The smell is ripe from some sort of fermented fungus. You notice the creatures are taking great care. And they're loading these barrels using the crane. Being very gentle in placing them. Or you can get anything else. Place you into the large mining carts built of metal, leaving you at the forefront. Ballroom at the lead of a flat mining cart, slight railing. They grab a lever and they push it forward. Crystals begin to glow underneath the cart. The convoy begins to move with magical intent into the depths of the tunnel heading east, further into the mountain. That'll be the end of our session.
All right.
Woo!
This is
How you all
fun.
feel?
Good. Good.
I
Got a
fought
guy,
every
we're good.
urge to chuck them into the lava.
You have every
Got
urge
it,
to
well.
check them into the lava?
Yeah, I literally was like, I should just giant smite and just start chucking people in.
Just chuck them.
So
If I
correct.
had said, if I had said no, would I just gotten mollywopped right there?
Yeah.
They just would have ganged up on you and knocked you out.
Yeah.
I can't tell you.
They take your head off, put it in a bag.
Oh, they could have dismantled you. Yeah, that would have been rough.
Yeah, they just grab the power drills.
I would have grappled. I would have grappled and leaped backwards into the lava.
Look, it's Sawzall, baby.
Oh,
Hit up with the
T2.
diamond tips. Just working through.
Am I the only one that got the Last of Us feeling when they said fungus?
No, I was thinking the same thing.
I'm excited.
Body
What
snatchers.
could possibly go wrong?
Absolutely nothing.
Told you we have cake.
We brought cake and
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and now they're taking us to their leader, and we get to kill him in his throne room, right?
With our weapons being our bare hands.
Yeah, I can turn into a
Yeah,
giant.
do your
It's fine.
best.
I mean, to be fair, does Pip's weapons really do enough harm to matter?
Mine do.
Yeah, but you can just throw literally like pocket sand or something.
That's
It
true.
doesn't matter.
I can.
Yeah.
I can throw pebbles off the ground.
You killed a. You went through a dude's
Just-
neck.
Just
with
got to
a grenade?
MacGyver some fucking alchemist fire out of lantern oil and a wick or some shit.
I mean, I could probably
Yeah.
throw your magical sling arrow thing or sling rocks at him too.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right, so
I probably would have put the sling away, so I probably would have put the ammunition, but I could just grab rocks, I guess.
So we have 864 experience each, put you at 3,874 experience total.
Nice. Also, think about how badass it would be for Jax to run up, grab a crossbow bolt out of some dude's quiver, and then stab him through the neck with his own crossbow bolt.
It would be.
It could happen.
It's a rough way to go.
Yeah.
It would have to be
Alright,
somewhere lit
that-
though, because I obviously can't see in the dark.
Out of character, like I'm
Um,
in a. Sorry.
Anybody have any questions or anything?
Hmm.
Good. Okay. I'm going to close the stream. So if you're watching, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. We'll be back hopefully next week, Fridays at 5 p.m. PDT. And thanks so much for watching. Have a good weekend. So bye.
Bye, chat.
Bye.